Hello and welcome to Session 7 of The Lost Tower of Xirus, a 2D20 Conan actual play featuring the Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop from Nerd Eye Industries. Disclaimer, this is a beginner game, so that means that some of the players are new to Conan. 2D20, the system, the 2D20 system, Fantasy Grounds are all three, so there will be some instruction done during gameplay and there will be mistakes made. This is an interactive campaign, so that means that those watching live can, and those checking out the VOD can affect the gameplay. What that means is that in an effort to make sure that we do everything, or I do everything correctly, if you spot a rule foible or something like that, point it out either in the Twitch chat, or if you're watching the VOD, put it in the comments section, and either that session or the very next session, I will get rid of one of my Doom tokens. Everybody's laughing. I'm not sure exactly why.
I had posted a lovely screenshot of Leslie that I was trying to take a picture of, I think in our we're going live tweet. But my timing had been poor, and the reason for Leslie, it's all beautiful.
Okay. So anyway, so those I'll reduce my Doom pool by 1 if I make a mistake. If you need to point that out in the chat, or also or in the comment section of the video on demand. And those watching live have an added opportunity to help the PCs out. For 50 bits, you can give the group 1 momentum, which is over the normally allowed 6. Before we get started, though, I wanted to, I have something that I need to talk about. Last session, there was some subject matter that was not up to our standards, and that was my fault. And I apologize for anyone who was affected or harmed by that. Because of that, I am penalizing the GM by removing all starting Doom for the GM this session. So I am erasing all Doom. All right, so now let's go ahead and get reacquainted with the players. And let's start with Cornelia.
Hello, I'm Cornelia. I'm also Morgan. I'm Morgan playing Cornelia. You can find me on Twitter at ThistleRaven and on the Taking Initiative podcast normally. And Cornelia is our little girl. She's about 17 years old. She's on her first adventure to find the truth of her parents' disappearance and deaths, and to find the lost city of Atlantis, and everything has gone so poorly, has just gone so poorly, so quickly, so very quickly. It went so wrong. But she is excited to be on the Road of Skulls and to be one step closer to finding out the truth of what is going on.
All right. And next we have Kett. Oh, you're muted.
La, 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 la. Just a pro tip, when you're muted, continuing to talk doesn't help anybody.
No.
Michael playing the role of Kett. You can find me on Twitter at losermlw. Kett is the veteran of the group, veteran mercenary barbarian, and he's basically coming along on the trip, with the rest of the group, hired by Cordelia's family to basically, I guess, technically protect her, but also, I think Kett comes along as a bit of a show of support, as Kett was present when Cornelia's parents met their end. And so he's taken kind of the, I guess, a kindly uncle role in her life, or, distant great uncle, something along an uncle line, the good kind of uncle, of course. So that's where we're at. Kett has kind of come along, tried to help where he can, and try not to have any more interactions with people's mothers.
All right. And next we have Varg.
Hello, I am B. You can find me on Twitter as at B_Zelda. So Varg. Varg was, herding sheep when one day Varg had dreamed to follow Wolf, and then Varg met Kett, and then Varg met Adama, and then Varg met Cornelia, and now Varg has just great wishes, great goals. Varg wants to make friends with Axe. So that's currently where they're at, and simple dreams, simple goals, and a lot of the realizations of his wolf aspirations are starting to come to fruition. What with the engraving on his axe, which has become we found out that is capable of killing the brother, the son,
Azad.
is it Edzad?
Edzad.
I have a D
Edzad.
here for some reason. Okay,
Yes.
Edzad.
The
So yeah,
son, I think. I think he's the son.
gotta kill him before the dad wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
So Varg is very capable, and Varg is very excited for the Skull of Rhodes.
And next we have Adama.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Leslie. You can find me on Twitter at LeslieGMGirl and on this channel. I'm playing Adama tonight. She is a Corinthian noble warrior with a very interesting family whom we recently met and interacted with. This was not Adama's plan. She actually traveled quite far across the world to get away from this current family. But alas, fate
You can never truly escape your family.
You cannot. Fate has led her back upon learning about this Road of Skulls. It was something that her eccentric aunt had mentioned to her in her childhood, and remembering that and mentioning it to Cornelia, realized that they needed to come here, and here we are.
That's right. All right. And I am Eric. I'm the GM. And you can find me at Bajaloon on Twitter, and hanging out pretty much all the time at the Gamers Table Discord. So, just as a quick recap, as we do every episode. So last time, the mercenaries and Cornelia arrive in Crotoa, the city-state in Adama's home of Corinthia, as she said, where they learn from her funky aunt, Ophelia, of the Sajadin, a group of warrior monks who guard the pass through the Karpash Mountains, and the pass is called the Road of Skulls. Adama also discovers that her family on her mother's side has ties to the Sajadin. Varg returns to the group after meeting with an exiled Azir who told them about the mysterious brand on their axe, which is what B just said. Cornelia, in a flash of insight, took the red jewel from the lid of a strange urn and placed it on Padri's forehead. The girl screamed, passed out, and when she woke, she claimed to be Nepriti, an Atlantean witch, thousands of years in her grave. With the girl in tow, they made their way into the Karpash Mountains along the Road of Skulls, where they spy the signs of an imminent attack and decide to ambush the ambushers. So let us...
And by ambush, you mean we're going to make friends with the power of just friendliness.
Friendship.
Sure.
Yeah.
The powers of friendship. That is the key theme to all Conan stories, is the
Absolutely.
power of friendship. Well, it is now.
Varg understands this 100%.
All right, so now we are looking at the fantasy grounds. Everyone can see this, including the viewers. So what we're looking at is this. It is a bottle. It's a bottleneck canyon that the Road of Skulls actually runs right down the middle of, and you had seen signs that there were people like trailing you and moving ahead of you, and I believe it was, I don't remember who it was, but one of you had determined that it's very likely that there's going to be an ambush up ahead. You decided to split up. So coming in from the west, you have Cornelia, Adama, and Kett. And on the eastern side of this canyon, you have Varg. So as things go, as it is always, the PCs always go first in any kind of an encounter unless the GM spends points of doom for each NPC to go. And as we've already determined, I have no doom. So you are free to do what you wish. So who wants to do what?
So Cornelia, I think I put her right next to the leader of the group.
And I'll go ahead and zoom in there so we can take a good look at that. Oops.
Okay. And
That's the thing about Fantasy Grounds. You accidentally hover over a picture of somebody and you rotate them. So there we go.
just tilt. Cornelia gets down and does a breakdance where she turns around in a little bit. No.
That's right.
So Cornelia wants to really quickly turn to Padre Not Padre and be like,
That's a good
so
point.
these monks are supposed to be guarding this place quietly. I don't want to be heard by them. Do you think that they would help us if they knew that you were with them or with us? Or would that be bad? Should I speak to them in Atlantean?
She looks at you for a moment and I'm putting her on there next to you. There we go. All right. So she looks at you and she says, I do not know. I do not know if the old alliances hold true or not.
If there was an alliance, what would I say to call upon it?
That you were a servant of the wolf, and if the old allegiances are still firm, then at least they will not attack you. But then it will be on you to parley.
Right. I'm very good at that.
Oh, good.
Okay. So, Cornelia is going to take, she's going to look down and try and find a little scrap of white cloth, and barring that she can't find that, she's going to rip a little bit off of, like the end of one of her like shifts or something. And then I'm assuming I'm actually more like behind this rock and not like right.
Oh, sure.
Right there.
Yeah, you can place yourself wherever you
So
want to be. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Just so we've got a little bit of cover, and with absolutely full preparation of being able to duck back down in case things go very poorly, she is going to stand up and face the guy that she thinks is the leader and say, in Atlantean, hold, we are servants of the wolf.
Okay. All right. Before we do that, Adama and Kett, if that's where you want to be, that's completely fine. I just initially had put you on the map, so you can place yourselves, and this goes for Varg too, anywhere you wish to be when this all starts.
If we're calling out to the leader, then Kett's going to stand here with his scimitar, like point into the ground, like with his arms on the scimitar, just like standing there waiting. He's not going to be in an attack position.
Okay.
If we're trying to either fool them or friend them.
Okay.
Go ahead, Adama.
Yeah, I think Adama's got her weapon out, but is waiting to see how they respond to Cornelia. Like she looks like she's prepared, but
Okay. What about Varg?
So if there was a moment where like Varg has a flashback to the last conversation that they had with the party, did it specify nonviolence at any point?
That's an
We-
excellent question.
There was no plan.
We did not have a plan, although we did talk about the fact that they might be willing to work with us. There was the possibility of that, but we did not actually say nonviolence until shit kicks off.
Okay. So like from the distance across that canyon, Varg just kind of like can squint their eyes and see like the slight approach, but that doesn't really signify anything. So
Varg gonna do what Varg gonna do.
with the recent thoughts of the information, learning about what was on the pommel of their axe, they are gonna let out a powerful. Oh, that's a hard word for me right now. Powerful. Ow, like good old wolf call. And then I just want to grapple one and throw them off the cliff.
Okay.
I just want to grapple one and throw him off the cliff.
Simple demands, Varg does not ask for lots. Just you throw a monk off the cliff. It's how you leave a statement, and it's how you parlay.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Aesir parlay begins with one enemy thrown off a cliff, and then negotiations start.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
If you don't have a cliff, just like a couple stairs will do, or a table, as long as they're traversing from one level to another level,
Right.
it's all official.
That's right. Okay.
All right. So let me open up my. How do I open up my character sheet? Oh, on the other side.
Yep. If you can click your image there on the top left also. All right. So Cornelia, you stand up and you hail them in Atlantean, I think we determined it's almost 4,000 or 5,000 year old dead language. So
These are really old monks.
yeah. Anyway, so as you're standing up, you can see that they are wearing robes. They very much are camouflaged in that it kind of matches the rocks and the local environment very, very well. So like they could lay down on the dirt and they would probably just either look like a small pile of earth or maybe some rocks and things like that. They are very well camouflaged. So when you make your statement, the leader that you identified turns and you realize that they are not male. It is a woman, and she has like a very fine, almost filigree looking head wrap on, like a band around her head. And as she turns and looks, you can tell that it's very delicate, like I say, but it must be made of some sort of like avian bone or something, because it looks super light, but it's made of bone. And she turns and looks at you, and what we're going to do is, let's see here. There. I'm going to open up the NPC sheet, and then Cornelia, we're going to essentially, you're going to have to roll a society. Well, let's see.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's going to because that is dealing with social things and even formal greetings with kooky monks. It still would fall within that.
Okay.
So right now your difficulty though, because if you wouldn't have used like the formal greeting that you got from Padre, this would have been a difficulty 3. But because you use the formal greeting, at least the formal saying, I'll make it a difficulty 2. So right now you are at 2 dice. Do you want to give me, because there's no, unless, no, I don't see any momentum in the chat. So if you want to give me any points of doom, that could raise your pool.
I think, oh, rats. I think things are going to go pear-shaped anyway because of, the great Varg toss. So I think I won't give you Doom,
Okay.
and I don't need to change anything on the DC or on my dice or anything. I can just roll it, right?
You would switch where it says DC1, change that to DC2.
DC2, okay. Okay.
And then you would just roll your society. Okay.
I did not
Oh.
succeed.
You did not succeed, and you rolled a 20, which is a complication.
Congrats on your 20.
All right, so what that means is, so you failed with a complication. Now it is just a regular complication is just a bit of bad luck or something of that effect. So what we will say is that in standing up, you weren't quite tall enough to like see over that big rock, so you kind of had to position yourself a little bit to say that. And as you did it, you just kind of slipped and fell, and now you're laying. We'll say you're laying on the rock itself. You didn't hurt yourself. It was just very, very not graceful.
Maybe she gets it's not a serious hurt, but that like skinned palm feel of like, rats. Okay. And I think that's my turn, right? I can't do anything else.
That's right. So Cornelia does that, slips, falls, boom. And from your vantage point, Varg, something happened to Cornelia. You just saw her go down.
Ooh.
Okay, so first off, did I yeet the?
Well, let's determine how well the yeeting happens.
Okay, because if I'm simultaneously approaching and I see Cornelia go down, honestly, my goal would be ideally if I can throw the monk across the chasm and hit their boss. That would be wonderful.
That would be a monumental feat of physical prowess. I will not. I'm not going to say anything's impossible. So let's do it this way.
Okay.
Go ahead. Let's go ahead and make your attack. So let's look at your character sheet. So this is going to be a melee attack, which is Varg's bread and butter.
Oh yeah.
So right now you're at 2 dice. Your difficulty, because they're not even closely paying attention to you, I'm going to make your difficulty 0. So you could yeet this dude without even making a roll. Okay, so you're automatically going to succeed. So every success you make, every success you make actually will generate momentum. Now you will need, I will say, 3 momentum to clear that chasm with this person.
Okay, and it looks like we don't have any in the pool already.
Correct. So you're going to have to actually generate
I have
3
to.
momentum.
Okay.
So the way you can do that is you can just roll your 2 dice as you have it set now. And then, because with your melee is, let me look at it again. Your melee is 16, right?
Correct.
And
Yep.
your focus is 4. So that means if you succeed on a 16 or less, and anything 4 or less counts as 2 successes. So you could do this with just your 2d20. To hedge your bet, you could give me Doom, and for every point of Doom, you would get an additional dice, up to 5 dice total. Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. Let me look at one more thing. I just realized you have...
Do I have a special skill that I have not known about?
You have Grappler.
Yeah, okay. I had peeked that.
Yep. You may spend... Okay, so essentially the way you, whenever you do something like whenever you do an unarmed attack, you could spend you can spend a momentum, or maybe you get a free momentum. Let me double check that again. After making a successful melee attack, you may spend 1 momentum to gain the grappling quality. Okay, so anytime you make an unarmed attack, you can spend a momentum to grab onto whoever you're attacking. That's what that means.
Okay, gotcha. Which isn't necessarily what I'm aiming for.
Nope.
It's the opposite of grabbing. It's eating.
Yes. That is correct.
Says so in the dictionary. All right, let me get that roll then. I selfishly think that I'm going to give you 1 point of doom.
Okay. All right. So change your yellow dots to 3 yellow dots there. Let me add.
I think Doom is a great idea.
Thanks.
Also, Nate gave us momentum, I think.
Oh,
in the
wait.
chat.
You are
Yep.
correct. Yes,
He's
you
the
are correct.
best.
That is actually 2 momentum. Whoops. I did 1 too many there. So let me get rid of that. There we go. All right. So you don't have to. That means you don't have to give me the doom. So I'll clear that doom out. And so now you have 2 momentum to play with. So if you want to spend one or both of those, that would make it either a 3 or 4 dice pool roll.
I'm only going to spend 1.
Okay.
So that's why I got 3 little clickies in yellow, correct?
That is correct.
DC 0.
Correct.
All right. Oops.
4 successes.
Hot dang.
All right. So first question is, of the 3 that are standing very precariously on those on that ledge there, which of the 3 do you grab?
Varg just pulled a Babe Ruth, like just pointed off
That's
the
right.
ledge,
Called their shot.
like in the direction. Yeah, totally called the shot. Like
I was aiming for the middle one.
Okay. All right. So you just come up behind them, grab on, and just boom. And I mean, we're looking. This is this is a top-down perspective. Very likely, this ledge here is higher than the ledge on the other side. So
Okay.
we can play with the perspective here. Just for fun. So you're like way up there, and so you
So
just
it's
go.
just going to rain bodies.
So yeah, and you clear the gorge, and we'll say that with the 3 momentum that you spend, because you generated 4 momentum,
Correct.
right? So go ahead and generate your 4 momentum. That'll put you at the maximum of 6 in the pool.
I forgot how to do that.
Double click. There you go.
I remembered how to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go. So go ahead and immediately spend 3, because
That I forgot to do.
drag and drop.
I remember. Thank you. 3.
There you
done.
go. So now you have completely chucked this one over to the other side. Now, for another momentum, I'll let you target which one of these that you actually hit.
Okay.
So as you're looking at them, the one that's right in front of the one you threw, that's just one of the other minions. The one below and to the left is another minion, but the leader one is the one that's closest to Cornelia.
Oh gosh, I love Varg, but they don't always think. So, I mean, can I aim for the leader?
Yeah, just spend a momentum and you hit the leader.
Sorry. Oops, I did the opposite.
Okay, we'll just drag 2.
There.
There you go. All right. So as you're standing there, Cornelia, you slip and fall on this like loose gravel that's on this rock. You just go skin up your palms, and as you look up, you can see the flailing arms and legs of this person, and you have just like, as you look up, and they're just like all arms and legs, and then boom, lands right on top of the person that you were talking to.
But first, we hear that wonderful wolf howl.
Oh yes.
Ow!
And then this person comes flying over the gorge.
Yes.
I think Adama's actually laughing. Like,
Oh.
like shaking her
Kett
head.
is
laughing.
definitely nodding in approval.
All right.
He hasn't seen anything this good in a long time.
Ooh.
All right.
Cornelia
so-
doesn't see shit because she's behind a rock and she fell like a loser.
Oh.
All right, so this one that flew across strikes the woman, because she had turned to look to see who had spoken to her, and all of a sudden this one of her monks just lands on top of her, and what it does is she goes down, just falls to the ground, and then the one that was thrown hits her, and then proceeds to roll and tumble completely down the side of the gorge. So that is number 9. and number 9 is gone. So, whoa, boom, and that immediately, like the two on one on either side of Varg immediately turned to see what first of all what the howl was, and then what just threw, catapulted their buddy.
I think Kett's going to use this opportunity, since things are going the way they are, to bum rush the two that are there, and even try to use one off of the other over the edge.
Okay. All right.
Straight up, just holding a scimitar, and he's just going to shoulder rush the first one in front of him.
That would be a melee attack.
All right.
And what you would do is, you would make the attack, and then I think it's 2 momentum to essentially just knock one into the other.
We have 2 momentum. Is everybody okay with me spending it to do
let's
this?
do the. You can. Well, do you want to do it because you have to make the melee attack first?
Let's do that first. Let's make sure.
Right. So you're stepping up and you're making.
Don't want to like miss the guy and go careening off at the cliff myself.
That would be an appropriate use of complication. Yes.
I'm not trying to yeet myself into the crotch.
It's like I'm going too. Oof. Oh, well, there's one success. So that is a hit. Now these are minions, so they do not get reactions. So that means they do not get a parry attempt unless they have a weapon that no, they don't even get that. So you hit that person.
Actually, I should ask, what was my difficulty?
It's always difficulty 1 unless I tell you.
Okay.
If I tell you, then if it's lower or higher. But if I don't say anything, then it's always difficulty 1.
Okay. And yeah, I'll use those 2 momentum to careen one off the other over the side.
Okay. So essentially you're just you're croqueting one into the other, so the other one falls off the cliff. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd call that a bank shot. I don't know what the billiards term is for this, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and spend. Go ahead and spend those 2 momentum. Nope. You're adding.
Hold on. Do that, and then how do I just remove one? Because I added one by accident.
Oh, I'll do it. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, so you knock number 11, and same thing. Number 11 just goes boom, 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 and number 11 is gone. All right. So that leaves Adama before the enemies go. So you have the leader. She's laying on the ground. Looks like she's snarling and looking up, like what is going on. And then all of a sudden you just see Kett rush one, boom, knocks him into the other, and knocks him off. So this one that's next to Kett is precariously on the edge as well.
And Kett just kind of looks over his shoulder and goes.
From behind her rock, Cornelia's going, I bet this is going well.
So Adama is going to stalk over to the leader in front of Cornelia. And with her blade drawn at this individual's neck, she's just going to say very slowly, because she doesn't speak. If this person speaks Atlantean, she doesn't speak it, but she's like, if I speak really slowly, maybe they'll understand me.
Sure.
Okay.
And she'll say, I'd suggest that you parley.
Okay. That would technically be a society roll, because you're trying to convince someone to do something.
Adama's got mad society, right?
Now here's the other question: what language are you speaking to them in?
Probably Corinthian.
Okay, so I will make this a difficulty 2 also. So
it's a very rich Corinthian.
yes.
Is there a leadership Corinthian?
Well, there's now if you're trying to get, you're like, I suggest that you parlay or whatever.
Yeah, so it's a society role.
Right. That's why it's a society role. If you wanted to do something else, You could try that, but yeah, it's society.
Nah.
No, there's
Only
one
one
success.
success, so
Yeah,
I
you have a
failed.
5 focus in that. So yeah, you suggest that they talk it out, and she says to you in Corinthian back, infidels, you will all die. We will add you to the road.
Okay. Cornelia, I don't think speaks Corinthian, which is
Oh, that's a good point.
weird because she speaks a lot of languages, but I don't think she took that because why would you take a language that people speak when you can take ancient Stygian and Atlantean, which
right.
are two that people don't?
That's exactly right. That's
Mhm.
exactly right.
It's perfectly
Priorities.
reasonable. Perfectly reasonable.
So she's gonna scrabble back up the rock and back in Atlantean say again, we are servants of the wolf and we'd like to talk this out. And as she does and looks over, she's like, oh, there are significantly less now than there were. I'm just gonna give like a very hopeful like smile. That's
Okay.
it. She's not going to do anything combat-y. She's just going to keep trying.
All right. So here is what happens. So now that the PCs have all gone, we're going to go with the enemies. So now these are all minions, and they actually are acting in groups of 5, except for the ones that were topside. So the
The group at the top of the map is one group, and then the group at the bottom is another group.
right, I'm gonna move this down so the people
Okay.
can see there. So you have a group on the top and a group on the bottom, and so they will act as one. So it's 13, 3, 4. So I'll just roll for, let's use 13 as my base. And so what they're going to do is combat. They have hunting bows. So what they're going to do is, let's see. So the top group sees Kett on the edge with the other cultists, and they don't have a necessarily clear shot. That's for certain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make their difficulty 2 to hit you. So let's go ahead and do that. So because there are 5 of them, they are minions, so I actually get 5d20. And their combat, let's see, this is coordination plus combat. So they need 10s or less. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So
Inkies.
yeah. So
Jinkies.
what that means is that they are going to hit you, and they generated 2 doom in doing so. Now, you do have an option, Kett. You can
Please tell.
attempt to dodge that. Okay.
I will attempt to dodge behind the other monk.
Right. But to dodge, this is a reaction. So you're going to, that would generate a point of doom for me. So automatically I would get 1 point of doom because you're doing your dodge. And then you're using your acrobatics to dodge out of the way.
All right. A difficulty still 1.
Difficult.
Since you
Well,
didn't specify.
it's because they got a success. They ended up with essentially what you have to do is you have to beat their successes. They
Okay.
needed 2 successes to hit you anyway. So that's basically, you need 3 successes to
So
dodge.
does that
completely
bump
dodge
it up to a DC 3 for the roll?
Yes.
Okay.
So we don't have any momentum. So do you want to give me any doom for this roll?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I'm not going to give you any doom.
All righty then.
I did not succeed.
Okay. All right, so
But no complications.
no,
so that's
well,
good.
there you go. Yeah, he didn't shoot you off the ledge. That's good. All right, so
But Kett does make an awfully delicious looking pincushion.
yes. All right, so what that means is you're hit with arrows, and because I generated 2 doom on that, I will spend a doom to, instead of making it a single shot, they fire a volley. Thum, 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 thum.
Okay.
Which all that really means is it just adds extra damage.
Okay.
Actually, let me double check that because I think I have to do that beforehand. Bonus. Yep, I do. So never mind. Take that back. I cannot do that. I have to spend that ahead of time. So, but so with the next group, you know what they're going to do. Right. So Kett, you are hit by hunting bow. And
Okay.
but fortunately, because this is the way it is, you only take the damage from 1 weapon. You're not taking it from 5 weapons.
Okay.
So that's just the way that works. Okay. So the total damage is 2. Oh, one thing. Hit location.
Yes.
So it hits you in the right leg.
Which I have no armor for.
Oh, good. So that was 2 points of, let's see here. Yep. There we go.
So that would be 2 vigor, correct?
That is correct. So now the way damage works in this, to refresh your memory, you need, once you take 5 points of vigor is when you take a wound. And you have to, and that is from 1 hit. So if you get hit the next time and you only get hit for 3, and you got hit for 2 before, that doesn't count. It's only 5 on a single hit counts as 1, or if you lose all of your vigor, then you start generating every time you get hit.
Our vigor had healed since the last combat, correct?
Yes, vigor always heals at the end of the combat.
All right, so let me just fix that because that's going to make a difference.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so arrow strikes you in the leg, right leg, and so it fleshes itself in your right leg. The other arrows just kind of dance around you, but yeah, it definitely scratched you pretty good. All right, so that's that group there. And now the bottom group, they are the ones that see, they can see Varg relatively well. Now, well enough. I mean, their difficulty is going to be 2 also.
Varg, I'm sorry that you get the volley.
I mean, let's be real. If you like the top-down view that we actually have, so like Varg, I think like Canon, they have like a bright white fox fur. What is this literal thing that I'm wearing?
Rough?
Rough.
Hood?
Is that the true word? I was gonna go with hood. Yeah, thank you. I don't know what a ruff is.
It's like a furry rough.
Okay, no, that's valid. Thank you. But like against the environment, which is rather brown and stark, something as plain white as that stands out like a wonderful target for a volley of arrows.
But much like Anakin Skywalker, you have the high ground.
Yeah.
All right, so I will spend the point of doom to make this a volley.
Of course. Do you have no more doom left after? Are you out of doom now?
No, I have two left after that. So
Oh, I see.
yeah, but normally I would spend a doom, or you would spend a momentum to increase your dice pool by 1. But because there's 5 of them, I already have a dice pool of 5, so I'm just doing it for the extra damage.
Okay.
So they still need 10s. Oof. All right, so that 1 counts as 2, so that is 3 successes. I needed 2 successes to hit you, so I essentially you can dodge it with an athletics check.
Okay.
With 2 successes is what you're looking for. But to do that, that's a reaction that would give me a point of doom.
I'll do it.
Okay. So instead of 5 arrows coming at Varg, there's 10 arrows coming at Varg.
Oof. I feel like it blots out, the sky from my perspective for a short amount of time. All I can hear is the whistling through the wind.
That's right.
It's a windy canyon, undoubtedly.
Sure. And you got 2 successes.
Oh my goodness.
So your DC was 2, so you don't generate a momentum, but you did dodge it. So 10 arrows fly at you and just, like you said, just blots out the sun. And then when it clears, you're fine.
Stand in place, ready to receive the damage, and they all dotted around me, creating this wonderful pattern of arrows. You missed! I'll shout at them.
All right. And so then the leader, she is laying there, and
Rude. So rude.
rude. That's right.
She probably has to take her action to get up, though. So
you would think.
You'd be wrong.
I was just trying to help.
All right. So she starts to make almost a very similar sound to what Varg made, just this very low rumble, then a howling noise, and then just, and she's holding on to the ground as if she's
Wait. Can you give us your best howl?
And she's just grabbing onto the earth, and she's like digging her fingers into it, and the ground starts to shake.
Oh.
Oops.
Should have killed her faster.
Yes. So she is casting a spell.
Oh no.
All right. So what we're going to do is she's going to need a D. Okay. So it is a willpower plus sorcery. So it's that's social. I guess it's considered combat. So she's going to need an 11 on her 2. She is a toughen, so she gets 2 dice. And,
out of curiosity, in this system, how bad is falling damage?
you know what? I'd have to look at it because I've never really looked at it, but I don't think
I don't
it's
think
good.
it's going to come up. I just thought I
Sure,
would ask.
sure. It's so I'm going
We're
to go.
not going to find out, right?
I'm going to spend a point of doom to give myself 3 dice. She needs an 11 or less to get this spell off. And she does. Oh, very well, actually. All right. So what happens is, at the start of the spell, the ground emits a terrible rumbling noise. This panics animals. So if you were like on horse, are you on horses? Or you have horses?
We do. They're just not. We're not on top of
You didn't
them right now.
Yeah, you didn't ride the horses up here. They're like tied.
Yeah, no.
down.
Yeah, no, I think we tied them down toward
Yeah.
the,
So if you were on your horses, you would actually have to make an animal handling check to calm them and not so they don't run away. All other characters in the area, so this does not count Varg, must make a DC2 willpower test or lose 1 plus 4d6 resolve, which is your mental hit points.
Ooh, dang, y'all. What is that even going to look like? Like, heck.
All right, so what we're looking at, so this is Cornelia and Adama and Kett need to make willpower tests, and your DC is 2.
DC is what?
2.
2.
Do you want to give me any doom for this roll?
You have so much doom, and you seem to generate it so fast, and it's so unfair.
2.
Willpower.
So is it discipline that you roll?
No. There's a button by willpower.
Yeah.
Right?
Let me double check.
Can I click that?
Oh, you know what? You're right. It's discipline. I'm sorry. It says willpower, but it
Okay.
should be discipline.
Okay.
I succeeded.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right. So,
my brain hurts.
yes, it will. All right. So here's how this works. This is fun. So it's 4d6. Okay. It's combat dice, so it's not actual d6s, but add 1 to the number that this generates. So each of you takes, so that is a 1 is a 1, a 2 is a 2, so that's 3, a 5 is a 1 with a special effect. So, yes, okay. So, and then it's +1, so that's 5. So that is going to be 5 resolve. Okay. So much like vigor, for every 5 resolve you take a point of trauma. This is mental trauma. This is like sanity.
Done.
How
Okay.
does... Go ahead.
Does Cornelia take that too?
No, Cornelia made your save, so Cornelia is fine.
Okay.
Something you puzzle it out, or you maybe you've heard of something like this before, something, but the mercenaries, you have never seen anything like this before. As a matter of fact, you know what? I take that back. Kett, you have seen something like this before. This is exactly what happened the last time. All right. So what trauma means is
Yeah,
that.
that's what I want to know.
So now what trauma means is that for every point of trauma or wound that you have, all of your DCs go up by 1. So now your base is DC 2 for those who have 1 point of trauma. Now these can be treated after combat.
How do you add the trauma point?
On your character sheet, on combat, you would just click. There you go.
Okay,
Yep, you got it.
got it. I
Yep.
clicked the wrong thing.
Yep. Now, everyone has points of fortune points, right? On your main screen.
Mm-hmm.
You could always spend a point of fortune to fill your resolve up to max. So that's what those little buttons are, and your vigor. So you can always
That doesn't negate the trauma, correct?
It does not negate the trauma. It just fills up your resolve or your vigor. Because once your resolve goes down to 0, then every time you take mental damage, you're taking another trauma.
Got it. Okay.
So I could have actually spent that fortune point to restore my resolve.
If you but not to negate the trauma. That doesn't
Yeah,
it doesn't work that way.
correct.
Yeah.
But if one had, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you had, say, used a fortune point to restore your resolve to max,
Yeah.
that's like a legal move.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
I was like hitting buttons. I'm like, what does this do? Oh.
All right. So
I restored it.
all right, so I generated some momentum on that. So as I'm looking at the spell itself, yep. So what she does is she causes this earthquake. Boom. And what the spell for the players, because I know you can't see what everyone else can see, this is called Fury of the Elements. That's what this spell is called. And Fury of the Elements, unlike other fantasy games in that, like you have like an earthquake spell or you have a lightning spell, this is all kind of baked into one thing. So she causes this earthquake. Now, with 2 doom spent, she can actually enact an ability called Aftershock. And it says the ground physically shakes and balance becomes tricky. All animal handling, athletics, and acrobatics tests increase in difficulty by 1 step. So that means your ability, those of you on that side, your ability to dodge arrows has now become, it's going to be 1 higher, because now the ground is just continuing to shake.
Great.
Yeah. All right. So on the bright side, that's all the enemies. So we are back around to the player characters.
Who's at the top of the order? Was it Cornelia?
It's whoever wants to
went
go.
first last time. Okay. Cornelia does not have anything in the shape of combat. She is going to look at Padre and say, Okay, so probably didn't work. She seems like a spellcaster. Do you know anything about that? How to stop it? Maybe to shut her up? Padre's by Wikipedia.
She says that she says you must either kill her or knock her out, but she is too valuable to kill. She will know the way.
Okay. Good to know. So I'm gonna yell out to my group. Don't kill her. We need her. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of the rock that I'm sure there are like little pebbles and stones and crap around.
Sure.
And with the arm of a 7-year-old boy, I am going to chuck a rock at this girl's head.
Okay, sure. All right, so that will be a ranged weapons attack.
Okay.
I love it. I'm excited for you.
It's plus. How do I roll this?
This
Actually,
is
And
Morgan's
you
first
know,
attack.
it's my
she's
first
gonna kill
attack.
it. You know she's gonna like knock this girl out with this rock.
All right,
Oh,
so
absolutely.
now
I'm here
you
for it.
haven't taken any trauma, so your target numbers are not up. So I mean, this person is crouching there on the ground because they were knocked down. They were like grabbing onto the ground. They're looking up. They're like arching their back and howling and you're gonna chuck a rock right at her. So your target number is 1.
Okay.
And then so for ranged weapons, you would just double click your little D20 there next to the 9. So you hit with a complication. All right. So you hit. Unfortunately, in your combat, I don't think we have a rock listed on there. So
we don't.
Right.
We have a crossbow, which she's
that is
not used this entire time.
I love it.
So what I'll have
Decoration.
you do is, and I'm sure Cornelia's bonus damage for ranged weapons is +0. So
It is.
with a single baseball-sized rock, I'll say that is 1d6 of damage.
Okay.
So just
Generous.
grab a d6 and drop it. Now it's a combat dice, so 1 is 1, 2 is 2. Hey, 2 points of damage, not bad.
Okay.
So she's howling, she's making all of these weird snarly noises, and you hit her like right on the side, like between the cheek and the nostril, and she stops, and it like stuns her for a second. She's like,
Cornelia's gonna say, "I'm sorry. I just need you to stop."
all right. So yeah, she has now stopped her howling noise. We'll say on the bright side, that is so the rumbling is subsiding, meaning that it will only last for this round. She's not sustaining it, so it basically broke her concentration.
Nice. Adama would like to follow that up with a solid backhand.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a melee attack.
If we're trying not to kill
Now
her,
your
I
DC is
presume.
2, remember.
Yeah. Let's see.
And success. All right, so you're backhanding her. Let's see here. So just an unarmed attack. Oops.
Oh, Eric, I did get a complication on that range test.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
Yeah. So what? But hey, teacher, you forgot our homework. I will give you.
That is so Cornelia.
Yes, Cornelia.
through and through.
Grant yourself a fortune point for telling on the class.
She sips her tea.
All right. So what happens is, so Adama, you as you're moving up to smack her, and you hit. There's no doubt about that. But you didn't realize that when she was hit by the rock, she had actually like backed up to an area that you didn't realize was quite as steep. So when you hit her, Let's first of all let's resolve the damage. So a backhand slap we'll say is 2 combat dice plus your melee combat dice bonus, which your melee combat dice bonus is 2. So it's going to be 4 combat dice. So go ahead and roll 4d6.
All right. How do I roll 46?
So left click and hold, and then right click until you have 4 in your hand.
Left click and hold. The right click until you have 4 times.
Mm-hmm. And then just drop it into the chat box.
Aha.
There you go. So
Nice.
2 is 2, and the 6 is a 1, so that's 3. And a special effect, which we'll say that an open hand or a backhand has the stun effect, right? So the special effect on that is stun. So she's stunned, which is stun 1, which essentially means that she would have to spend 1 point of doom to essentially get out of it.
Okay.
And so you smack her. Whack! You did 3 points of vigor to her, which she'd already taken 2 points of vigor from
Ooh,
a
trauma time,
from
right?
a rock to the face. This is not trauma. This is vigor. So it's not resolve. So she's taken a total of 5 so far. Oops, 5 so far. Oops, there we go. So she's not out of vigor yet, but she's definitely not doing great. But the complication is now you smacked her, which caused her to rock back, and now she is slowly starting to slide down this crevice that she was like precariously on. She's not falling, but she's windmilling now. Whoa. And who's next?
I think it's time for me to kill these 2 folks.
Sure. Yeah.
I believe it's time for them to fly.
So, okay, what was I looking at? Let's go back to combat. With my battle axe,
Yes.
and this might be a little too anime, but like I know that there's a way that I can do like a double attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Okay.
Is it my No Mercy?
No, what it is momentum. You would spend, because you're using you're using a 2-handed weapon, so it would cost you 2 momentum to take a second attack.
Okay.
But these are minions, so that means you're attacking them as a unit. So you are actually so all you have to do is make 1 attack, and if you do more damage than to kill 1, it blows through to the next one. That's just the way that works.
Okay.
So.
Because I have a really cool anime scene to narrate.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, this is like an axe move. So that is going to be. I don't remember how to use my weapon, honestly.
No, it's fine.
Let's go back to combat.
Go back to your combat tab, and then you're under
Battle
melee.
axe. Go ahead.
You would click the dice next to melee, because the dice next to your battle axe is the damage. So you're rolling on the
okay.
skill. So 1 success. That's
Only
all you.
one success.
That's all
Alright.
you needed. They are minions, so they do not get an attempt to parry. So that is you hit. Now it's just a matter of clicking the dice next to. There you go. All right. So you did 7 total damage, and then 3 effects. Now here's the fun part. Battle axe. Battle axe has the qualities of intense and vicious 1. Right. So and what that means is intense. If you inflict 1 harm or 1 wound, you inflict an additional. So now you're inflicting 2 wounds. Right.
Okay.
And then vicious is you get an additional damage for each effect that you roll. So instead of 7 damage, you've done 10 damage, and you did. And for 5, let's see, that's their armor.
Math time.
Yeah. Right, there we go. They have an armor soak of 2. So you did 10. So soak of 2. So You did 8 points of damage. Well, all you needed was 5 to do a wound, which you did, and you've got what was it? It was click. Intense. Sorry. So you have intense, which caused 2 wounds. So you kill both minions.
Okay. So, what happens is Varg starts to kind of swing themselves in a circle, generating physical momentum. And ultimately, like, I want a spinning axe attack, but because like they're like kind of caught in between the 2 minions, so like they spin and then they hook the one guard with like the hooky part of their axe, and they swing, they body them, like they body that one guard into the other monk, and then with one last twirl, they just like swing them and like unhook their axe in a way that the bodies just go flying. And I don't really care where they land. I'm not going to spend momentum on that.
Okay. So they
No, I really want to watch them just yeet away.
Then and they do, and they are now in a pile at the bottom of the chasm.
Oof.
So that's 6 and 15. Okay. So 6 and 15.
Varg is putting in work.
That's right.
It's what I do best.
All right. So that is that. Nope. Kett, have you gone? You have not.
Kett has not gone. At hearing Cornelia ask, please, we need to keep her alive, and seeing her starting to pinwheel or start to roll down the hill in an uncomfortable fashion, Kett's going to ignore the precarious gentleman here and kind of take a couple steps and do the whole jump forward and grab.
Okay. All right. That sounds like a athletics check to me.
Can't
Great.
you punch them at the same time?
Come here, pal.
Really? Like, I'm just gonna pull you into my fist.
Well, I mean, technically, Kett's running by. Kett could probably throw an elbow as he was running toward.
Well,
but
I'll tell you what. You can do this, and if you generate,
I'll give you a doom.
you would essentially what you're trying to do is do a second action. So
Okay.
what you would do is do the athletics check, right?
Okay.
And if you generate 2 momentum, you get a second attack. You could do the attack at the person that
All
you're
right.
diving past.
Let's focus on one thing at a time first. Let's try the acrobatics check.
No, athletics, not
And my
acrobatics.
DC is at a 2 currently because of the
'Cause
brain, the spell,
the shaky
earth
ground.
shaking.
And you're right on the edge. So yeah. So your DC is 2. You're using athletics, not acrobatics. So make sure you click, because that's a big difference for you. And then, do you want to give me any doom? Right now you're at 2 dice, and your DC is 2.
No doom.
Okay. There you go. 2 successes.
Boom.
But you did not generate
No
any
momentum.
So the person you dive past doesn't get the flying elbow.
As long as I got my hands, I got a firm grip on this sliding monk.
Yeah, and
Kett will be okay with that.
And let's do this. So she's starting to fall. You slide and you grab her right around right up under her arms.
Good. That's a good place to grab somebody who's sliding.
Yes. All right, and I believe that means it's bad guys. All right, so boy, this is interesting. So we'll say that because the top crew, and I'll slide the map down for everyone to see. So the top crew was shooting at Kett, but now Kett is now holding the boss over the cliff. So do they want a new boss, or do they want to save the old boss?
Does it look like I'm dangling the boss over the cliff's edge, or does it clearly look like I'm saving the boss?
Well, it looks like you're saving the boss, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they want the boss saved. So that's
Got
the question. But we'll say that they do appreciate the boss for not just the way that she leads the group, but also her personality. So
I bet she's really cool about time off, and
Right.
she gives good gifts.
That's right. She doesn't. no questions asked. You know, I need Thursday off? No problem.
It's like an honor system.
Right. So yeah, and you know the place of where they work, you know, it's hard enough. So you know, it's hard to find good bosses. Now the bottom crew are not happy with Varg, so that's what's happening there. So the top crew are actually going to shoot at Adama. The
Oh shit.
the neglected one that you passed by, Kett, sees you holding on to the boss, and is actually going. And they're not dummies. They know what's going on. You don't stand toe to toe with the fighters. You go for the cloth. So looks like this one's going for Cornelia. All right. And then the one that you have, the boss that you're holding on to, Kett, so like you're laying on your belly, you're holding on to this person around, like up under her shoulders, and she's like this. She reaches behind her back and pulls a dagger, and she's going to stab you. And she's like, I'm taking you with me.
Oh my gosh.
So, all right, so here we go. Let's do the shots on Adama. And that is 13. Okay, so there are 5 of them, so I'm going to get 5 D20. I don't have any doom, so this is not a volley. Right, now, if they hit, you may give me a doom for a dodge attempt, but your dodge attempt will be at a +1 difficulty because the ground is still shaking until the end of this round. All right, so I'm going to need a 10 on my 5D20. There we go. All right, Adama. Oof. That one counts as 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. So they generated 3 momentum or 3 doom on this attack. If you wish to dodge, you are going to need 4. You're going to need 5 successes to dodge it.
That's maybe I can't. That's not happening.
Yeah, even with let's see, even with an acrobatics of 13 with 2 focus, you technically could do it. No, you could technically not, unless you gave me doom. There's really no other way of doing it. Okay, so taking the damage. Okay, well, first of all, let's see where it hits you. All right, slide everything up. Here we go. Hit location. Where does the arrow strike Adama? In the right arm. Do you have armor in the right arm?
3 armor.
3. Oh, that's really good.
Nice.
Okay, so the hunting bow. Oops, let's move this over. Oop, not that one. Let's move this over. There we go. All right, so the hunting bow hits you in the arm for. Did it not roll? What's going on here?
We're never talking again. Thomas gonna tell Cornelia, never
Right.
again. We're never having a conversation
It
again.
was 13.
Well, hold on. Never talking to enemies, potential enemies.
I mean, sure, either or.
There it goes.
Oof.
All right,
Powerful
so
battle
that's actually
feelings.
nothing. That's actually nothing because the special effect it doesn't apply. So it only did 1 point of damage. You have 3 armor, so your armor soaks it. So all these arrows and just ting ting just start hitting off of your armor. All right.
Not so bad.
So, but I did generate. What I get? I needed 2 and I generated 5, so I got 3 doom on that.
Yikes.
I think the doom is broken in this game because you keep getting it and then using it and then getting more, but that doesn't keep happening for us at Momentum.
Well, you need to. You need to.
What's
Well,
happening?
Yeah, it's broke.
The way it works is the more you use it, the more you get. See, so if you were to
I think,
give me,
I think Modiphius really needs to work on this Doom, to momentum system.
Yeah.
There's got to be an
Is that-
exchange,
is that-
right? There
is
should
that
be an
right?
exchange.
Yeah.
if you use Doom, we should get momentum and vice
Yeah.
versa.
Oh,
you
is
know,
that
Yeah.
right? Is that
Wait,
right?
wait, wait. No. He doesn't get Doom when we use momentum. That's nonsense.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying, but we should get momentum if he uses
Sure,
Doom.
Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
that's where I was going with that.
Right.
Maybe
Yes.
one doom that the GM gets is half of a momentum. So
Oh my
if they
gosh.
get 2 doom, we get 1
Oh.
momentum.
That's
There we
entirely
go.
too
Then
much.
we were
I
then we're
fixed it
implementing
for
it.
you, Modiphius.
Yeah, but then
Yes.
we're implementing an exchange rate.
Right, exactly. All right,
Yeah.
so the bottom crew is still shooting at Varg because I mean that whole cliff now is completely clear of their brethren. So we're gonna need a 10 to hit Varg. I will spend the
Of course
doom.
you will.
Yeah, to the doom to make it a volley. So it's 5d, and I need 10s. 2 successes, so that's what they needed. So that's a hit.
All right.
And then this actually is 4 for this roll, and 2 successes. So you could dodge this. It's an acrobatics roll, and you would need 2 successes, but you would need to give me a doom for the dodge.
You know what? I'm not going to give you a Doom this time.
Okay.
Varg will continue to stand there, and they will wither whatever damage comes their way.
I hear you. Okay. There you go. Nothing. Well, first of all, let me see where it goes. Because it might do a point of vigor. So let's see where that goes. To the 12, which is the torso. You have armor on your torso?
I should.
Let's see. Yes, you have 2 points of armor on your torso.
Yep.
Yep. So it soaks it. Take nothing. So ting
Okay.
ting ting. Hunting bows are not really designed to take out that much armored foes. So.
Varg thinks your arrows are weak. And I want to rip it off and throw it down the cavern.
And they start howling back at you.
Does it hit one of the guys that she yeeted?
Yes, it bounces. It like sticks in one of their broken.
Ah. I mean, they already did, so it's cool.
All right. Looks like. Ooh. You know what? I take that back. I said she was going to stab you with the dagger, but she doesn't. Kett, she uses her steely glare, which is everyone has, and you all can do these things too, where you can do specific maneuvers to afflict like mental damage to people. Like if you like, this is a toughened creature, this woman. If you were to kill her, you could do what's called the dead man's stare, where you cut her head off and hold it up, and you show the enemies, and you do mental damage to all of her companions. You know, that kind of thing. So this is one of her powers, which is called the steely glare. So she just like locks eyes with you and just tries to intimidate you with her steely glare. What that means is she's using her persuasion and combat. So she's going to need a 12. She gets 2 dice. I'm going to spend a doom to make it 3 dice. And so, like I said, she needs a 12 to do this. Wow. The one is a 1, or the 1 is 2. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
What?
Now,
Hey, Eric.
Mhm.
Question here.
Sure.
I can't see those rolls on my chat in Fantasy Grounds. Am I supposed to be able to see
I
those
don't think
rolls?
we.
No, I don't
are.
think the players are supposed to see them. That's why, like, if you're watching the feed, you can see them in the feed, but you can't see them in our
Yeah.
side.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys know those. Okay.
We got you.
Sorry about that. That is actually something that I can change in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, show GM. I should be chat show GM rolls. It says on. I don't know why it's not. Oh, maybe it's not showing roll totals. Are you seeing the dice roll, but then you're not seeing what happens?
So
I'm
we're
seeing
seeing
the shadow
A
of them
ghost
roll.
well,
dice.
and
Yeah.
we're seeing combat rolls. So like when you roll damage for your enemies, we're seeing that,
Mhm.
but we're not seeing the results of the actual
Okay.
skill and die checks.
All right. So I just changed that. So here we'll see how that works now from now on. All right. So the steely glare, I got 6, a 1, and a 10, and I needed 11. So and the 1 counts as 2. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 successes, and it's against let's see, it's against Kett's discipline.
Can't we say that Kett has advantage against crazy women giving him eyeballs after the last 24 hours of this game?
This
I'll allow it.
well, I mean, I wouldn't say that you're necessarily. This is more of a she's trying to intimidate you and whatnot. So it's actually a damaging attack. So right now you're looking at to avoid it, you're going to need 5 successes because no, this isn't a dodge. So you need 4 successes to avoid this steely glare. Do you want to give me any doom for your roll?
And the only way I can get 4 successes is if I give you doom, correct?
Yeah, because
Really?
I don't think you don't have any
Can I
extra
assist?
points. That is a good point.
So I have a reroll on any discipline check.
Yes,
one d20 reroll, but that doesn't provide me with additional successes.
No, it just if one fails, you get to reroll. You know what? I will allow an assist because of the connection that Cornelia has with Kett. So if Cornelia, if you want to switch your dice toggle to 1, and then roll your discipline, if Kett succeeds, then we'll get the additional success.
Okay. So, all right, and then I'm just rolling a d20, right?
Yes, 1d.
Oh, that just... Beep. Wait, did it do it? No. It just sadly flopped over.
Ah.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay. So what is your discipline is a 10?
Oh, okay, wait, yeah.
Go ahead and roll it from your character sheet.
From my character sheet.
Yeah,
I'm so
we'll
sorry.
ignore that 16.
We'll ignore the 16. I
Thanks.
didn't.
Oh no! Even worse.
This was...
Wow.
Dang.
All right, so Cornelia made this worse.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, so we'll just say it. If you, I'll say just because the way it works, and I'm not exactly certain if this works this way, but this way we'll do it. If you don't succeed, Kett, you don't succeed. But if you roll there you go, Kett. If you roll a complication, then Cornelia's complication adds to yours.
Okay.
So you're spending a fortune point to add a natural 1 to your dice
spent
pool.
2 fortune points to add. Or can I only spend 1 at a time?
You can only spend 1 at a time. So go ahead and add your other one back.
Nice try.
No, it's fine.
All right. And I will give you I'm going to give you a doom to add a die to my pool.
Okay. So all right. So this is the way that works. You've got 2 dice. You give me a doom for a 3rd dice, and then your natural 1 counts as a like phantom 4th dice, but you don't roll it. You're just rolling 3 dice. You just automatically have a 1 on the 1 dice.
Okay. And,
All right, and you're rolling discipline, right? So that 1 that you spent, that fortune point actually counts as 2 successes.
Okay. So just out of curiosity, I'm looking at my roll 20 wrong system, Fantasy Grounds, and underneath the die, I've got 3 pips right now for 3 dice. Should I be rolling 4 or just 3?
No, just roll 3.
Okay. All right, here we go. Come on, discipline. Why did that only roll 1 die?
I don't know. Oh, did you have 3 dice on the 3 yellow
I did.
dots? That's weird.
Weird, yeah.
Try that
Okay,
again.
well.
Just click the 3 yellow dice. Your difficulty was 2, and then double click the discipline again. We'll ignore that 16.
It's gonna be
You
worse.
shouldn't,
you know
because
it.
that was a
wait.
success.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you're right. It only
what?
rolled 1 dice, but it didn't.
It said he had 4 successes and got 2 momentum.
Oh.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
So
so
hold on. I think what I toggled.
What's going on?
I mean, I'm cool with it.
Retho?
Okay, so it for whatever reason it was just it's not showing my thing. I think this might be just a glitch. Okay. Okay, so yeah, all right. So you generated 4 successes.
So
right?
just to be clear, that roll, even though it only showed 1 die, it did generate it
Yes.
rolled all the dice. It generated those. Okay, good.
Right. Yeah, because it just, instead of showing the dice roll, it just showed the result. So for whatever reason. All right, so so you got 4 successes. How many did I say you needed?
4.
4. So there you go. You generated 4 successes.
Technically, I have 5 successes, 6 because I spent a fortune for 2.
You're correct.
Ooh.
So you generate 2 momentum.
2 more?
Yay!
Yeah, well, it told you that. Well, you needed 4 successes, right?
So that's why I'm curious about, because you said I needed 4, so I spent a fortune for 2 automatic successes.
Right.
I rolled the dice. The dice gave me 4 successes. So I don't know if it's counting the fortune point already,
Oh.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
or if the fortune point is on top of the 4 that were rolled.
Go ahead and give the group 4 momentum.
All right, I can do that.
All right, so she does this steely glare in your face, and you know your ability. Nice try.
I got a little excited. Sorry.
Your ability to avoid the like what Cornelia was yelling something about. Don't look into her eyes. You know, don't look into her eyes, Indy, and you avoid your gaze.
So I feel like this is if I can go, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Cornelia is like, don't look her in the eye. So then Kett looks her in the eye, because that's the complication.
Yeah.
And then Kett does like the 1,000-yard stare. So he's like just looking straight through her head. Like he's not even really making eye contact with her.
Right. Exactly. So it's like it has no effect.
That military stare. Like
That's
if you're getting tortured, you just kind of look out into the horizon.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, and yeah, so the steely glare has no effect on you, and we are back around to the PCs.
All right.
So yeah, here we go.
Everything I do.
No.
Is magic?
No. I forgot. We have somebody attacking Cornelia.
I
Oh.
thought I wasn't gonna mention it because
And
She
just
learned a lesson.
Yeah, but
and
last time
Good try.
you told on us for the
That's
teacher,
right.
you got a fortune out of it. So you know,
think,
Yeah,
teacher, you forgot our
but
homework, but wait a minute, you forgot
I'm
to grade
really
me.
squishy, so I'm scared. I'm scared.
All right, so this is a minion, so they only get 1d20.
Okay.
And I need they're coming at you with a ritual dagger, and they need a 10 or less.
Okay.
Shunk. So stabs you. Now you can dodge. That is a thing.
I think if this is all happening at the same time, Cornelia's additional complication of that is that she is so worried about Kett not staring at this lady in the eye, she is not paying attention.
You didn't notice the cultist sneaking up,
other
and
guy.
and
So-
the other part of it is Padre's watching the whole thing and doesn't say a word.
Because she's so rude. Yeah, so I think Cornelia is just gonna assume, because she assumes the best about anybody, if that anybody was coming up on them, Padre would say something. So
Sure.
yeah, I'm gonna let it happen.
Okay, so dagger comes in and shunk sticks you. Let's see where it hits you. Hit locations. Stabs Cornelia in the left leg.
Ah.
Oh no.
I'm assuming Cornelia does not have armor in the left
She
leg.
doesn't have shit.
Yeah, that
I
is
have
fair.
no armor anywhere.
Okay, so what what they are going to do is they stab you in the left leg. Hi-ya, chunk.
Cornelia is going to scream in like surprise and just like upset and pain.
Okay.
All right, and then what do I do now?
All right, so here's the damage for the dagger. Now, this is okay. So it is unforgiving. Okay. All right, so this is the damage. Okay. So the Sajidine does damage with the ritual dagger and gets 2 effects and 2 damage. So what that means is you take 2 points of vigor to you don't just 2 points of vigor. It hits you in the leg,
Okay.
which is an unarmored spot, and you take 2 points of vigor.
Okay.
And then I'm going to spend 2 doom for a second attack.
Ugh.
Oh, what a jerk!
Mhm.
So they only get 1 dice. They need a 10, and misses.
Nice.
Roll the 13. I'm
I would like
assuming-
to say for flavor that she takes her backpack or her like big satchel that she carries and just like swings it at them. She doesn't hit them obviously because I don't take an attack right now, but like basically enough to get them off guard enough not to hit.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, it's like now it's like sticking into your backpack, ruining who knows what.
Oh no.
Cornelia would like to rage.
Is that officially nerd rage?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
believe that's scholar rage. It's even worse.
Oh yeah, you're right. All right. So the looks like you were back around to the player characters again. For real this time.
Speaking of scholar rage,
Yeah.
What you got?
I think, I mean, Cornelia has never been attacked before and she's never been hurt like this before. So I think she just gets a little hysterical and will just now use her backpack or her satchel with the dagger sticking out of it. She's not going to use the dagger. She doesn't know how to use that properly. She will just use it as a bludgeoning weapon and she will swing her book and scroll and miscellaneous heavy instruments satchel at this like monk's head.
Okay. All right. That
She's
is
screaming the whole time.
all right. So let's make a melee attack.
Okay.
You are
Can
at.
you assist in a melee attack?
You can. The way that would work is so then Adama would, you would switch your dice indicator from 2 to 1 down at the bottom left, and then you would double click your melee.
Does that take the place of my action,
It
or
does.
is that in addition to?
It does.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to do that, but
Right. Now on the other end, other side of that, if Cornelia, if instead of wanting to damage, if you're working in conjunction with Adama, you could say, I'm going to assist Adama with it just by swinging my backpack. That would be also. And when you assist on anything, you choose how you're assisting, what skill you're using to assist. So that's just the way that works. But I mean, like you said, she's never had this before, so it's fair.
Yeah, I think maybe next turn she will have her wits about her enough to think, oh, I can help Adama. But right now she's reacting out of pure instinctual fuck you.
Sure.
And will just hit him. Okay. So melee.
It's melee. Now, you have 5 momentum in your pool. So do you want to spend any momentum on this attack?
technically there should only be 4. I got a little overexcited when I clicked. So
You have 4 momentum in the pool. So you do you want to use any of the momentum to there you go.
Yeah, I will.
All right, so change your dice
Scholar
to 3.
rage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Hold on. So then I changed my dice to 3.
Correct.
Okay.
And then double click your
And-
melee. 3
Oh, it generated
successes.
momentum. I also smacked the bejesus out of my mic. I'm sorry, listeners.
All right, so you hit. This is a minion, so they cannot parry. So you generate 2 momentum on the attack because you got 3 successes on that bludgeon.
Cool.
All right. So, because it's a heavy backpack with a bunch of pointy bits, let's say it'll do 2 combat dice worth of damage. So roll 2d6.
Okay. And I have
that
a
was an
Mac.
amazing roll. A 7, a 4, and a 5. That is amazing. Scholar rage.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm just gonna roll them individually because I have a Mac, so I can't do the left click.
Oh, sure. No
right
problem. No problem at all.
click. So let's do one of those
Nice.
and one of those.
Nice. All right.
And
All right. So,
Ooh.
so a 6 is a 1 with a special effect, and we'll say that this has the stun ability. We'll just that as a default. We'll say that many of these, improvised attacks have a stun ability. So it's 1 plus a special effect, so stun 1, and then 2 is a 2. So you did 3 vigor points of damage to them with your backpack, right? Roll to no, you know what? You don't have to roll to see anything. They have a armor soak of 2, so if you spent 4 momentum, you could kill this person.
Cornelia is not going to do that.
Okay.
If
All right.
Cornelia accidentally kills this thing, it'll be fine, but Cornelia is not going to take an action to actually kill this
Okay,
person.
so you're going to save the momentum. All right. So you smack them with the backpack. Their head whips around and comes back. You see them; they're stunned, so they're like blinking their eyes. They can't believe that what appeared to be a rather pillowy backpack actually had some weight and some edges on the inside. So shakes their head. And you see like bloody nose, and he kind of like looks at you for a second and kind of goes, and you see a tooth come out.
Cornelia screaming is going to be like, I just wanted to talk!
All right, who's going next?
Honestly, I'm not. Yeah. Go ahead. I was gonna say I don't really. I don't have much to do. So if y'all want to take your turns, I'm just gonna be like waving to the folks from my high ground vantage point.
Yeah, I think hearing. So Adama was paying attention to the leader, and hearing Cornelia panic a bit and get stabbed. She's going to turn on her heel and take her two-handed sword and try and lop off one side of this guy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that
Yes.
is a.
Bring it up.
Yep. This is a melee attack. You want to spend any momentum on this?
Oh yes.
Okay.
I would like to kill this guy.
Do it up.
DED dead. So
Yeah.
all right. I'm gonna go with 2.
Okay. Nope. Drag and drop.
Oh man, why do I always do the wrong way?
There you go. And this should be 3, correct?
Yes.
You added 1. Okay.
Correct.
So, all right. So go ahead and you're added 2. So you should have 4 yellow dots.
All right. Is my DC still 2?
It is not because it's a new round. So it is now 1. Because
Okay.
Oh, nice.
yeah. So
Okay, cool.
the earthquake aftershock effect is now gone.
All right. So we're doing melee roll.
Correct.
All right.
Here you go. 3 successes, so you generate 2 momentum.
All right.
There you go. And you hit with the 2-handed sword. This is a minion. They do not have parry, so you may roll your damage when you're ready.
All right. And damage for the two-handed sword.
Is the little dice next where it says 5, do the double click
Yeah.
next to that. There you go. So you did 7 damage. Now a 2-handed sword has the effect of vicious 1. So each phoenix that you roll is actually an additional point of damage. So you did 10 points of damage,
I also have blood on steel, so
which allows you to do what?
Let's see.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
You can spend a momentum in order to add vicious, or you can increase the weapon's vicious quality by 1.
Right. So normally, if this was a group of them, I would suggest absolutely spend that momentum
Yeah.
because you're doing so much damage. It's only one guy.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't waste your momentum because your 10 points of damage, they had already taken 3 points of vigor damage. So only had 2 left. So how do you kill this one?
So like I said, she pivots on her heel, like basically, and just comes up with the sword, like from the bottom up, and just lops off the body.
So like from mid ribs to other side of their shoulder.
Yes, just straight up.
So it just kind of
through the
slides this way. Okay.
Yeah.
And so then Cornelia, you are, well, no, that would be more like Padre would be kind of in the spray zone
Spray
there.
zone.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
But she doesn't seem to be too affected by that.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's surprised by that?
All right. Looks like you have a bunch. You've got the boss dangling there. She tried to give the evil eye to Kett. Varg, you're not completely without stuff to do. I mean, you could bound down the. It's not like a sheer cliff. You could, and
Okay.
being Aesir, climbing is not a big deal for you. So
I would love to climb down the mountain like a goat.
yeah, you could totally do that. That is an athletics check. DC normally would be DC 2, but because you're Aesir and you were raised in the mountains, you've climbed mountains your entire life, it's DC 1.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, if you make the success, you can get down to whichever group you want to get down to.
Okay.
If you generate momentum, you can spend a point, or you can spend a point of momentum after the fact, because you've got 5 in the pool, to be able to attack when you get there.
Awesome. And this is acrobatics to confirm?
Athletics,
Oh, thank you.
which is better for you, I believe.
It is.
Yes, 2 successes.
Yeah.
So you generate a point of momentum. Which group are you going at?
The one closest to me. Boop, boop. Carefully climb down the mountain, lose my footing a little bit, scrape my hand. You know, the calluses have been going soft a little, so
Sure,
like the
sure.
feeling of this rough mountain face on my hands, not entirely used to it. But then after a little bit of trouble, Varg is able to make it down to the flat surface with those 2 guards who kept shooting a volley at me.
Yep. And they see you coming and they're quaking. All right, so it's
Varg would like you to wait. Varg is going to be just wait one.
wait right there. I'll be right there.
Don't go anywhere.
They're like,
Yes.
Couple more seconds, please. Varg is
I have
almost
6
there.
momentum to spend on you.
all right. So yes, 1 momentum to get the attack when you get down at the bottom.
All right, let me click. It's drag and drop, right? Yeah.
Yes. All right, and so now you are making your attack. All right,
I'm crushing some skulls now.
sure.
Like I got validation that like the violence that I was doing was the right thing if they're doing violence. So like yeah. Varg should fight more.
Okay. Are you going to spend any momentum on this attack? You have 5 in the pool.
Yes.
Okay.
What does that do again for me? Like in
All right.
terms of
So for every
'Cause, like-
point, every point of momentum you spend adds another dice to your pool, so it adds another of the yellow dots.
Oh, okay, yes, but like these 2 minions are as 1 minion, correct?
Correct. So if you essentially all you're really going to probably do is just replenish the group's momentum, because your melee is 16 with a focus of 4. So chances are you're going to generate, and you need 1 success to hit. So chances are you're going to hit. Chances are you're going to generate momentum. So spending it here, it's all kind of academic, really. So.
I got you. So yeah, bloop, and click, and melee. Where is the melee? Why don't I have this memorized yet? Melee.
I think it's okay. You know, we're in here once every 2 weeks, so I think
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
not quite knowing it is okay.
Right.
Right.
So you generate you get 3 successes because you're 15 because you have needed a 16 or less. So you got 3 successes. You needed 1. So you generate 2 momentum. So the pool is now at 6. But you rolled a complication, which isn't a big deal. What we'll say, well, let's resolve this, and then we'll determine what that is. So for right now, you hit the 1. Go ahead and roll your damage, which is double click next to the 5 on the battle axe there. Holy moly!
Smash.
Okay.
Please translate again.
All right. So what this means is it is intense. So if you inflict 1 wound, you're going to inflict 2 wounds, right?
Okay. Yep.
For every Phoenix picture there you do an additional point of damage. So instead of 8, you do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of damage.
Oh dang.
So just outright, you kill both of these.
Okay. So I think what happens is like Varg is like struggling down the mountain face, and literally they're like, Varg would like to just meet you. Varg would like you to meet my axe. It's fine. And like they finally hit the ground. You know, they brush off some of the mountain face. You know, they grasp their axe, and then they're like, okay, ready? And obviously they're not ready. You know, they have fearful looks on their face, and Varg will just go ahead and decapitate the two of them in one swing.
All right, so yeah,
you know, I think they were grabbing their asses
Yes, they were.
in just straight fear.
you know what? Because, like I said, this is actually a unit. So those two are actually part of the same unit. So the other three across.
How do we narrate that?
What we'll do is, okay, so you did, how many points of damage did I say? So 8,
Not
9,
11,
10,
12,
11, 12, 13, 14 damage. So you did 14 damage. You didn't, so because their armor is 2. So at 7, you generated a wound, which automatically generates another wound. And then at another 5, so you generated 3 wounds, right? So you kill those 2, and we'll say that one of their companions across the way takes damage purely from fright and dies also.
His heart is in his chest and like his throat, and it's just like he's having a hard time breathing, and he's just so nervous.
No! And falls over.
You hear this from the other side. The guy's like, ah!
What? Varg would like to know what that was.
Oh my God. All right, so yes, bam. So the one across the way just kind of goes and falls backwards. And then 2. And then 7. Okay. So Adama has gone. Cornelia has gone. Varg has gone. Kett, you're holding this person. She's tried to give you the evil eye. You know, didn't work out for her. Now what are you going to do?
Kett's going to try to use his strength to like drag her back up.
That you can. I'll say that you can do that without making a roll. So, is there anything that you want to do roll wise?
Oh yeah. I am hog tying her.
Okay, so
I'm dragging her up on her stomach, and I'm just going to grab her arms and legs and start kind of tying her up with her own belt if I have to. Like whatever. If she's got a rope around her waist, if she's got loose clothing, whatever I can do to just tie her arms and feet and keep her from casting.
All right, so that still would be a melee because you're wrestling her.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and what we'll do is we can say that. Well, I mean, you're at 6 momentum now in your pool, so all you need is 1 success and spend 1 momentum with that success, and you have her soundly bound. Or we could say for every momentum you generate in the roll, that determines how many more successes she would need to escape.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. I like the second option there.
Okay, so you can spend momentum to increase this roll, which would make it better chance that you would. There you go. So 4 dice, 5 dice. So you're maxing out the hand there, no problem at all. And then that would.
And it's back to DC 1 because the earthquake is over. Correct.
Correct.
Very good. Get out of this.
Oh my goodness. That was a craptacular roll there.
Yeah, I mean that's. Thank you, Fantasy Grounds. No kidding. I love the interface, but I'm having a real bad time with the dice tonight.
The dice are not your friend tonight.
They are not working for me.
All right, so you generated a point of momentum. You could either put that in the pool, or you could add it to the difficulty of the. I'm
going to add it to the difficulty.
All right, so they would need 2 to escape the bindings, and that's pretty good because it would be a athletics check or acrobatics check for them to get out of it.
And you had said my successes were going to go against her difficulty, right?
Yes.
So that would technically be 3 successes, right?
Correct. So yeah, her I was going to say that her being bound would make it basically automatically 2 two. Her DC is 2. So the momentum made it. She has a DC of 3
Okay,
to
got
escape.
Thank you.
So yep. So she
And you know, Kett is like dragging her up on, you know, kind of by her shoulders back up onto like level ground, and then he's doing his best. He's pulling off his own belt. He's grabbing some of her clothes, and he is just really kind of just holding her, you know, her hands, and then pulls her ankles up and literally like hog ties her on the dirt there.
Okay.
You steer your way out of that one.
Mage.
You steer your way out of that.
Yeah, she's like sputtering in the dirt. Okay, that's all of the PCs. The remainder of the cultists, especially now that Varg is now on their level, have decided that they no longer think that this is a valid tactic and are leaving. So,
What?
unless you pursue, they are going to go away. Now, when I say pursue, it's like use ranged weapons, or I'll give you a round of pursuit, because Varg, you're on the bottom there. So if you want to chase the 2 down there, perfectly fine. You can easily catch them. They're not that fast, and get a round of attacks on them. Or you could go for the big group if you wanted to and catch up to them. I will allow you to catch up to either group you want to catch up to. If any of the players on top want to use ranged weapons, you certainly may for 1 round. But they are not going to fight. Their intention is to leave.
Okay, I think Cornelia, are you okay if I go first? Or are we at the top of the order again before I even step in?
Yep, it's back to the PCs.
Oh, okay. Cornelia, are you okay if I?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Yeah, so like Varg would like to just step down from the mountain face, you know, do the awkward climb, scrape their hands a little bit, jump down, brush off the dust, take a couple steps forward, and then just as they're like close to the mountain face, they want to shout up, Varg would like to know if you want to fight some more. It's good to ask every now and then.
Okay. They're in the process of like climbing down also to run away. And so they kind of stop on the, you know, because they're not nearly as proficient as Varg is in their climbing, even though they've been raised in this area, you know, and whatnot. But they're just not nearly at that level. So they like stop on the, like, almost like they're hoping you,
Go up.
yeah, it's like, go down. No, go up. So they're just kind of they're like at this impasse of what do we do next? And so then they just kind of like sit there and like don't move, hoping maybe you'll go away. And then one on the bottom finally realizes that you're not going away, and you're like standing there, you know, wanting to know if they still want to fight. And they kind of turn and look at you and go, no.
No, thank you.
Okay.
We're good.
Varg understands. Thank you for fight. It was wonderful. Varg might steal some of their shoes. They look nice. But yeah, Varg thanks you for the battle, and take care.
Okay, they're like eking down because they're not quite
Varg
sure.
appreciates your time today.
5-star Yelp review.
Right.
Give me 5 stars.
So yeah, they eat. They're not quite sure if you're messing with them or not. So it takes them a minute, and then they finally like slowly make their way down, and they're like looking at you, like holding their hands out, and they don't even have their bows in their hands anymore. They're just kind of like holding their hands out, like okay, and they're like 1, 2, 3 steps, and then turn and run. And by that time, the top group is gone, unless, like I said, unless you on the top want to use ranged weapons at all.
I don't think so.
Okay. No? Okay.
Nope.
All right. So we are now out of combat.
Yeah.
Cornelia, covered in blood, just covered, is going to turn to Neprides Las Padre, and
She's sitting down like crisscross applesauce, just looking at you. And she is, like I said, she was in the full-on spray zone of Adama's cleaving that person from hip to shoulder, and she's just sitting there, completely covered.
Why didn't you say anything? Did you see them coming?
Her eyes squint for a moment, and she says, "If you are to survive this, you're going to have to deal with much worse than that, dear."
I'm going to hit her with my backpack.
All right. That's a melee attack.
Let's see. Where is melee? Up here. Okay.
That backpack is nothing to sneeze at. We've seen it knock out a tooth.
All right. It doesn't matter that it doesn't succeed. She's still going to like make an attempt at it and just yell at her and be like, you know what? I will have to survive things, but maybe I will survive a little bit better if you say something when somebody's about to stab me. Or, you know what, Miss Fancy Lady, you can just try and find your own way back home, huh? Because these people I paid, and they'll come with me. So you can maybe stay trapped inside your daughter's body for eternity, or maybe you can start working with us.
She sits there for a second, and then her head kind of tilts down for a minute, and then like when she's sitting there, and her eyes are like burning red, like she's super pissed at you. Like even just the thought of you raising your voice to her, it grates her to her soul, and she puts her head down for a moment, and then she raises it back up and looks at you, and that look is completely gone, and her lip starts to quiver, and she says, "I'm so sorry." And that's where we'll end it.
How can you be mad?
Poor Cornelia.
It's not fair that she can just jump in and out like that.
Yeah,
of course.
Cornelia gets
Yeah.
actually angry for one moment, and then she immediately feels bad about it.
Sure, of course she
And
does.
she's like, here, I'm going to let my daughter deal with these feels.
No.
Right?
Right, I'm not going to sit
What
here
an
and listen to
asshole.
this.
Like, oh, I can't deal with this. I'm going to let my 8-year-old take
That's
the lead.
right. Go talk to them. I'm done.
Oh, manipulative.
All right. So since we're out of time, let's go ahead and how about we let everyone know where you can be found, and we'll start with Cornelia.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at ThistleRaven. You can also find me on the Taking Initiative podcast. We're at TI_pod. We just released another episode of our season 2 campaign of Storm King's Thunder. We'd love to have you join that. And you can find me on Gamer's Table doing Star Trek stuff on Tuesdays.
Not tomorrow, but the following Tuesday.
The other one.
The other Tuesday.
Yes.
And next we have Kett.
Hey everybody, Michael again playing Kett tonight. You can find me on Twitter at losermlw. I'm also part of the Redemption podcast, which is a Star Wars actual play taking place during the Clone Wars. You can find Redemption at Redemption Pod on Twitter. And you can find me here on Assorted Mondays playing Conan and Assorted Thursdays playing the East Texas University game, where it's kind of like Supernatural, but we're in college.
That's right. And next we have Varg.
Varg says, today was a satisfying day. Lots of fighting, lots of blood. But hello, my name is B. I play Varg. You can find me on Twitter as @B_Zelda. I had to peek my calendar to see what's going on this week. So tomorrow is my season premiere of Burn Bright on the Salty Sweet Network. Wednesday, if you're so inclined, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm running a game of Root. I think I have one ticket left. It is a really cute RPG about woodland creatures in politics and destruction. I think that's all I am doing this weekend. Oh no, gosh, time. This Saturday, I think I'm also going to be on the One Shot Network stream playing Wonder Home. Wander
Home.
Yes. I know what I'm doing. I don't agree to things blindly. Me? No.
And next we have Adama.
Hello, everyone. You can find me on Twitter at Leslie GM Girl, and I am on this channel. So I'm playing this game on every other Monday, and playing Star Trek coming up this coming Tuesday. So definitely come watch that. 'Cause it's gonna be awesome.
Yes. And I'm Eric. I'm the GM for this and for the Star Trek Adventures live stream that they mentioned. I'm also the GM for Resting Glitch Face Shadowrun podcast. You can find me at Boz Shaloon on Twitter, and also anywhere Gamerstable is at, which is basically just Discord. So, all right. Well,
anywhere Gamerstable products are available.
there you go. That's exactly the plug. All right. So, well, thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.